Tell my story, a story defining courage and resilience, a story of standing up and defending our constitutional rights, a story of my father, my hero, Shafiqul Islam, a story, the right to live with religious freedom, the right to live in harmony with mainstream people. That one story gives me courage to speak. It was December 2011, right before Christmas. My school was hosting presentations on world cultures and religious festivals. I was a third grader, and my lovely social studies teacher, Tom Cole, asked me if my father wants to present on Islam. Many of my friends' fathers were presenting religious festivals of their own. I asked my father to present on Eid. When he looked at me, I could figure out the expression of happiness. While we were getting ready for the presentation, another bad coffee was brewing behind the scenes without our knowledge. Just a couple of days before the day of the presentation, we got a call from the school counselor saying that there were threats coming towards the school, the community, and us. Hateful emails and calls were coming from anonymous sources to stop any presentation on Islam. The school wanted to hear from us about our decision regarding presenting with the recent developments. Our firm decision was going to the presentation, ignoring all kinds of threats. After hearing our decision, the school was preparing and engaging us with tense updates every hour. A 4-foot-tall, 8-year-old kid was confused and puzzled at the time. That little kid understands a little bit more now about that complex world. That kid is standing in front of you, and that kid is me. We saw one of the emails, and after seeing the email, we were more determined to present something on Islam. One of the sentences in the hate email hurt us so much that it made us desperate. That sentence is, "How can you not do anything when this filth is in our school?" The word filth directed towards me. Now the question is, am I filth? Not really. I'm an ordinary American. We do not teach a third grader as filth at school. A third grader is nothing but an innocent, beautiful kid. If that hate sentence in the email was true, then we are all filth in the USA. And I know for a fact that that is not true. I have seen a lot of love from many people in our country. My school, West Friendship Elementary School, was safeguarded by 2 police cars constantly a few days before the day of the presentation. Since my county, Howard County, Maryland, also got the threat. As the day started approaching, the volume of the threats started increasing through anonymous calls and emails. Tension was in the air, especially at our home. On the day of the presentation, all the school's windows were covered by newspapers so nobody could use a sniper to shoot. At this age, I understood what was happening. Then, the decisive moment came. My friend Ethan, his father, who was a veteran from the Navy, drove and guarded us from our house to the school. The parking place next to the school door was reserved just for us. Then we were escorted by 2 policemen from the parking lot to the main lobby. We understood how many precautions the school took and how they took no chances at all in protecting us. As soon as we entered into school, we saw that the place was packed with people. We saw that the whole community came together and supported the presentation. I guess you can easily understand the intention of the bad person was completely destroyed. It had the opposite effect of what he had intended. With a lot of excitement and enthusiasm, me and my father presented the Islamic festival of Eid. All the precautions were paid off, and nothing happened. The bad person still existed, but could not do anything except experiencing a defeat. We came home as victorious for not surrendering to the bully. After all, a deep thought clouded in my father's mind. He saw a few bad elements in our neighborhood and in our school, which could be suspect for the misdeed. He was thinking about the safety of mine. How can I go alone on the school bus? What will happen to me during recess on the school playground? Who is the invisible person? Why is he an enemy of us? For the first few days, my parents started dropping me and picking me up from school. Few words and suggestions from our neighbors in the school did not comfort us anymore. The tensions kept on mounting. We got a suggestion from our Muslim friends to go to the CAIR, also known as the Council on American-Islamic Relations. However, we wanted to make it a more mainstream issue. Therefore, instead of going to the CAIR and school security, we wrote a letter to two of the senators of the U.S. who were at the time Senators Barbara Mikulski and Ben Cardin of Maryland, Congressman Elijah Cummings, the Howard County Executive Ken Ullman, and the school principal. At this point, the best thing we could expect to send was a strong signal to the bad person. Then, finally, the good news came to us. We received a letter from Senior Senator Barbara Mikulski. She expressed a position about having zero tolerance against the act. She sent a letter to the Assistant Attorney General of the U.S. Civil Rights Division in the U.S. federal government. Then, the Assistant Attorney General engaged the FBI to investigate. The result is much more than expected. Multi-level law enforcement agents assured us of taking action for any of our concerns. We have seen the patrolling of law enforcement agents' cars, the change in attitude and behavior in our neighborhood. This is the way the whole community and people with power engaged in a conversation. After 6 months, we got many details related to the hateful act. Even though the FBI could not identify the suspect, they were able to identify their activities, which brought a positive environment for us. In conclusion, we do not have to go to the U.S. Senator or Police Commissioner to live peacefully. We have the right to live in peace like others. When bad times like this come, we need to speak up and show courage. Silently digesting these acts will give more encouragement to the bullies. Silently digesting these acts will give the victory to the bullies. A few people not appreciating my beliefs cannot depict the true picture of the whole community. I'm proud of the actions taken by my parents. This will be in my thoughts for the rest of my life. My religion and color may be different, but I am also an American. I love my country. Diverse America is the true America. That is the best America. And I, Zuha Islam, my dad, Shafiqul Islam, and my family are all proud Americans. Thank you.